Christmas is almost here, and many of us have angels on the tops of our trees. Pop culture makes much of angels, but who are they? For believers running life's race, God has provided an unseen army of angels, powerful creatures whose duties go far beyond decorating trees. To help us understand them, Erwin Lutzer brings us a series called A Flurry of Wings, a study of angels. From Chicago's Moody Church, this is Running to Win with Dr. Erwin Lutzer, whose clear teaching helps us make it across the finish line. To begin his series, A Flurry of Wings, Erwin Lutzer comes now with his first message, What Angels Do.
If you know anything about our culture, you know that angels are flying low these days, and they are everywhere. I took a trip to one of our bookstores to try to find out what's going on in the secular book world, and I came across a lot of angel titles. I thought there might be one or two, but I was shocked at the number of books on angels. Here are some of the book titles: Angel Letters, Angelic Healing, A Celebration of Angels, Angels Over Their Shoulder, Messengers of Light. Now, I determined I would buy only one of the books, and I bought the book Angels Among Us, but my wife would have preferred that I had bought another book. It's entitled Be an Angel, but I passed that one by. I discovered that there's angel wrapping paper, angel calendars, angel artifacts, and the Los Angeles Daily News says that the prophets are, well, you probably guessed it, the prophets that are coming about as a result of this angel phenomenon are perfectly heavenly, the report says. Now, I believe these stories that we read in the books and in the newspapers about angel visitations. The problem that I have, as we shall see this morning, is the interpretation of them and how we might understand the angel phenomenon in our culture. What I'd like to do today is to begin by giving some reasons why it is that angels are making a comeback and why it is that there is such a discussion and so much flurry regarding angels today. Here they are, a couple of reasons. Number one, it enables people to experience the spiritual without bothering with God. Because the minute you begin to deal with God, then you've got all these problems of sin and redemption and the need for obedience and wondering what God's will is, whereby if you have an encounter with an angel, they don't make those kinds of nasty demands. They're very accessible, very accepting of human failure. And it is so much easier to be able to shuffle a deck of angel cards than it is to study the Bible. So what you do is you go into angels, and they are more accessible as a way into the spirit world. In fact, that's the second reason. It makes the spirit world appealing and friendly. Friendly. I stood there in the bookstore, and I took some of these books down, and I began to speed read them. And I noticed that all of the stories were so positive. I mean, there was no angel doing anything nasty. Everything that was happening was so good and so helpful, and it was saying, in effect, all that you need to do is to recognize that there's a friendly spirit world out there, and it's important for you to get in touch. There's a third reason, and that is that it makes the occult appear very biblical. Because the Bible has so much to say about angels, people therefore study the Bible. They will read Billy Graham's book on angels right alongside another book on angels, and they think, well, one is just as authoritative as the other. I mean, after all, an angel is an angel is an angel is an angel. 13% of Americans say that they have seen an angel or have sensed the presence of an angel. What I want us to do today is to take our Bibles and to turn to Luke chapter 1. Luke chapter 1, this is the first in a series of 3 messages on angels. Today we're going to discuss what angels do. Next Sunday, what angels believe or what they know. And then the following Sunday, what angels celebrate. And as we turn to Luke chapter 1, I want to remind you that angels are such a phenomenon that happen on the pages of Scripture. I may have mentioned to you over 300 references to angels in the Bible. And I not only believe in angels, but before this message is over, I'm going to share with you some angel stories. But before I get to that, I've got a couple of other things to say. Let's look at this passage of Scripture. Gabriel is the angel who brings a revelation to a man by the name of Zacharias, whose wife Elizabeth is going to become the mother of John the Baptist. Luke chapter 1, verse 8, "Now it came about that while he was performing his priestly service before God in the appointed order of his division, according to the custom of the priestly office, he was chosen by lot to enter the temple of the Lord and burn incense. And the whole multitude of the people were in prayer, standing outside during this time of the offering." Verse 11, "An angel of the Lord appeared to him standing to the right of the altar of incense, and Zacharias was troubled when he saw him, and fear gripped him." I find that interesting because in the books that I scan, nobody seemed to be scared of angels. They just seemed to walk up and do something nice and disappear, and in the minds of many people it was as if this happens every day. Zacharias at least was troubled, and so were the shepherds. The angels had to say to them, "Fear not." But these angels that we read about today are not frightful at all, are they? Verse 13, "The angel said to him, 'Do not be afraid, Zacharias, for your petition has been heard, and your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you will give him the name John. And you will have joy and gladness, and many will rejoice at his birth, and he will be great in the sight of the Lord, and he will drink no wine or liquor.'" Goes on to discuss him and how John the Baptist is going to fulfill an Old Testament prophecy. But now we skip to verse 18. "And Zacharias said to the angel, 'How shall I know this for certain? For I am an old man, and my wife is advanced in years.' And the angel answered and said, 'I am Gabriel, who stands in the presence of God, and have been sent to speak to you and to bring you this good news. And behold, you shall be silent and unable to speak until the day when these things take place.'" What I'd like to do today is to use Gabriel as a prototype of angels. I know that he is a very prominent angel, but his responsibility,